It's not very busy right now, but it will be the world's busiest control tower in about 24 hours. So with that in mind, I will go seek out the Ford Trimotor and go practice. And soon I'll be joined by another of our esteemed Trimotor pilots. So maybe we can crash mid-air. Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? So I will just fire up this thing and get going. Like that. And hello, Rob. And yes, it starts tomorrow, so that's why I'm practicing today. More for the purpose of testing the stream that it actually works, because I haven't been doing this for half a year or so. So you will be my test right now to see if audio levels are reasonable, that you can actually hear anything. So if you're hearing the very noisy door, that's a good start. Anyways, let's get inside. Okay. Okay, so the shadow is very useful, so I can check that the control surfaces work. Sounds looks okay, fantastic. So let's see here. Fantastically funny plane where you have engine instruments for that engine inside the plane. And the engine instruments for this engine is right out here. Very useful. And the same with the right engine on the strut. Right. Startup. Let's see here. Wake up the trim wheel. Okay, that's working. And let's see here. Fuel in this particular plane is always on. So I just need to do the mixture and priming. I'll do the priming of all the engines immediately to be done with it. And there's the one for the front engine. This is not a study level aircraft by any stretch of the imagination, but it's quite fun to fly, and it's a bit of a dog, or a goose actually. Let's see here if I can get this started. So throttle cracked, mixture rich. There we go. That was one. And we have sound. So let's see. Can you actually hear me above the roar of the engine? That would be good if you can. So while I start up that one, throttle cracked. Okay, get the slightly down. How about that? Is that any better? That was engine number one, or two rather. It's going to be even more noisy when I get all three running. So let's do that first. Crack number 3. Okay, good. I'm going to decrease the sound a little bit on my end here, because you're going to get the noise of the engine in through my microphone as well. So, anyways. Yeah, there isn't much more to it. This plane is, as I said, rather simple. And actually, there's actually a panel hidden here, where I can decide which panel I'm gonna burn from the center tank. Carb hit. Off. I think. Let me see here. No, now it's off. Okay, let's see here. Now I'm just going to verify that I'm actually connected to network. Yes, I am, and the radios are showing up. Good, perfect. Then I can go. Transponder is on. And okay, so the reason I took a little bit of time to set up here is because I have contrived to set up for flight, so you can see what's going on. So I'm parked at Warbird Alley, which is for Papa 1. So here's the map. I put in the dots because they are very useful to have. And I'm going to fly the runway 27 circuit, which is something that the Trimotor does during the AirVenture air show. Or not the air show, but just during the day. So that takes me around to the north of the town of Oshkosh. And coming back into runway 27. But I've also contrived to put in the SOP that we have for the Trimotor. So it's not particularly interesting, but it's kind of, you can have an idea of what we're about to do. So, so this is the operations we have for 36 left and right. So there's a track, and this is some what the hell is that? I'm just going to pretend that I didn't see that. And the south ops, and the one I'm going to do now, west. So yes, that's what it was. One of the ugliest planes. So, as I said, just depart 27 over to Highway 41, follow it north over the bridge, over to the north side of the town, over to the shore, Miller's Bay, and land. That's what I'm going to do. And actually what the Trimotor does is that the, yes, disgusting aircraft, love it, perfect, exactly. What the Trimotor does is that they land as early as they can on runway 27 and stop somewhere around between the orange and the green dot, and then turn into the grass by the Vortac. That's where they dispose of their passengers. And they go on to Taxiway Alpha and rinse and repeat. So that's my plan today. Okay, let's do said plan. Come on. We buckled in. Well, there are no seat belts, so you can pretend that you're buckled in. Yes, this is a 10 and 2 steering wheel. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford Trimotor taxiing runway 27 Oshkosh. Now, here we have a little dilemma here. The scenery is set up so that people don't taxi off into places where they're supposed to go, not supposed to go. And so they've put in flagmen. Some are static and some are actually dynamic. They will change the flagmen during the event with some online magic here. And this is a static one. He's always standing there. So I always drive over and through him. I've over the year, a couple of years, I've done this. Carved up all of those flagmen several times. I think there has been at least 100 of those flagmen that have been gone through. So, so that's perfect. Yeah, ignore her. She doesn't know that this runway is closed. Actually, she does, but she doesn't care, apparently. I love this scenery. It's such a gorgeous sight with all these aircraft.
Approaching runway 1331. Entered runway 1331.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not too shabby. And if you aren't already aware of it, this little plugin here, FPS plugin, will change settings on the fly to get your frame rate even better without actually visibly, or at least very visibly, changing the scenery. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it so much. Anyway. So, I'm not monitoring 118.9 because the event hasn't started yet. The plugin, let's see if I can find it, what it is. Let's see here, plugin admin. Where is it now? You probably saw it already. Where is that plugin? Am I looking right at it? No, it's not living scenery. It's called something FPS. What the hell is it? Where is it? I think it's... I'll dig it up. I think you can actually just Google it. So explain. I'll do it. .3J FPS Wizard. That's the name of it. It's just plop it in, and you can do a quick, run through it, and it'll, yeah. There's an 11 and a 12 version. Right, let's get going here. And you can just turn it off if you want to as well. It's just, buttons up here. It doesn't take much. So the plan now. Wait a minute. I texted to the wrong runway. Okay, so let's do south ops then. I'm distracted here. So, since I have the option of doing that, so I'm gonna. What I just did now was I taxied. I followed the taxiway and not the contrived way into the grass by the VR station. So I'm gonna depart 18 left to the south here, and at some point when I cross Fisk Avenue, I will turn left out towards the south of the seaplane base, staying below 1,300, because if we run 18 ops, there will be traffic coming in over Fisk Avenue at 1,800 feet, landing, going into the downwind, and landing southbound. So if I climb above 1,300, I will be closing the distance between the approaching traffic. So there's a roof for me. But once I'm south of the Fisk Avenue, I shouldn't be climbing then either. But at least I'm not, you know, it's not going to be that dangerous. Hello, Einstein. So, but I'm going to wait at least until I'm quite far out towards the ocean or the lake before I start climbing. So turn around the seaplane base, turn inbound, and what the ATC will do is they will either tell the big or the small Ford to join left downwind, like this one, or remain over the shoreline and enter on a very tight left base for the approach end of 18 right. So this is one of the scary approaches, and I've put in this little skull here because if you overshoot on the downwind here, you will be in the way of the runway 27 approaches. So that's not a good thing to do. Let's go flying. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford, Tri-Motor, taking off runway 18 left, straight out, Oshkosh. This is not real world weather, because real world weather is really shitty at Oshkosh right now. Actually, it turns better, it seems. Maybe I'll change it back. So let's see here. Got some speed. Tail coming up by itself. I'm Matt. I'm on the November Charlie 8407. That's the Little Ford. I messed up on the SOP, so I fixed it. So if you look it up, the big Ford is 90645. And Matt Bacon, who's in the chat, is one of 2.5 Tri-Motor pilots for now, at least. So interesting plane. Yeah, it is. It looks better on the outside than on the inside, to be honest. Matt is, of course, the best pilot, so he's... it flies nice, yes. Okay, let me stop climbing here, because this is Fisk Avenue coming here. And there's going to be people up there at 1,800 feet. And I just overshot by 200 feet, so that's very bad. Yes, I fear that. We have another one, but he is... I'm not sure if he's going to fly this year or not. I think he's kind of... he wanted to be treated as a reserve, at least for now. So I would have thought he was the half one, and Matt and I were the complete ones, but then again, Matt claims he's the best pilot, so maybe he's a little bit more than one. See how badly I'm doing this already. I'm at 200 feet below the altitude at which the other planes are coming in. So if somebody, because you're 1.1, I'm 0.9 then. I can live with that. Well, I'm not even that because I forgot to turn on my landing lights. That's your fault, Matt. Point one is from saving yourself and a friend from crashing into Piper Cup a couple of months ago. In real life? So here we have the railroad, which is also marked on my little SOP here. Useful for deciding when to climb or not. So once I pass that, I can probably start climbing a little bit. Someone who didn't call on FISO frequency. Super wide crosswind. What is FISO? So here we are. This is the seaplane base outside of Oshkosh. It's right down there. There may or may not be a seaplane event as well. Not official, but just among the nerds among us. So the procedure calls for us to call up on tower and say that we're inbound over the seaplane base, and then the Oshkosh ETC will tell us what to do. Flight Information Service Office, CTAF, okay. So this is sounds like a small airport then. So what ATC usually does when we fly the 1-8 traffic
3 miles.
is to ask us to continue along the coast here, because they have a lot of traffic coming in. Jesus, what a light. Cannot see anything here. So they want us to stay outside of the traffic, so on a wide left downwind. But if there's a gap in the traffic, they will squeeze us right into the downwind. So what I usually do now at this point, because now I'm at 1800, I'm actually 1900, I will pull back on the power quite substantially, because this plane, it won't go fast. I'm at 100 knots now, 110 miles. But because of these gigantic fat wings, this plane just floats. It's like a cork, but in the air, so it doesn't want to come down. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford Trimotor inbound from the seaplane base, following the coast. Oshkosh. And the problem with this is that if you need to cut down on your downwind to do a short approach, you have to be very slow with this plane to be able to accommodate that, because once you start going down, you will pick up speed. Not a lot of speed, but just enough to be difficult to deal with. And it has no flaps, no speed brakes, and no deployable gear. So there's nothing to do. You can just pull the power, and that's all you get. So here we are. This is left downwind. Usually what I do is I aim for the crossing runways in the middle here. Those are closed, but the middle of those, that's a good sight point for me to aim. That's not something that regular Fisk approach pilots should do. They should never be north of the control tower and the blue dot, which you can see here. So pilots are not supposed to go beyond that, but the Trimotor pilots are sent regularly over to the crossing runways here. And here you have the approach for runway 27, which is very close. So there will be planes coming right around here. And also some IFR traffic might be coming straight in here into 27. Or the other Trimotor pilot will be coming from there. Miller's Bay. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford Trimotor, left base 18 right, Oshkosh. So I'm very close to the, so if somebody's overshooting 27 and I'm here, it's going to be tight. So I have to be mindful about that. So I think I'm nicely configured as far as speed goes. This plane is also difficult to land in a way, because when you slow down, it will drop the nose. Is that the other Ford I'm seeing right there? That's Big Ford. Hello, Big Ford.
I'm very big.
Yes, you are. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford. Turning very short final, 18 right. Blue dot, Oshkosh. Well, I never hit the blue dot, but I'm sometimes close. Because if I go all the way to idle now, I will lose elevator control. It's just so heavy on the nose here. I have to give a little bit power. Ah, too late. Ugh. So that's Exhibit A. It will be dropping its nose.
Oshkosh traffic, big photo departed in 18 left for the left-hand circuit, Oshkosh.
Okay, so he's doing 18 left. I'll do taxi back and go into another lap at the 18 left, and then I'll change over to the 27, just to have practice that as well. So speaking of ugly planes, by the way, we're talking about the Trilander. Here's an ugly plane for you. This is a turd. That's what it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the right thing and pretend that I didn't see that. Speaking of seeing, there's the big one. Piaggio Avanti, exactly, that's the one. I always forget that name. That's Italian for turdition. Let's see here. I tried, before starting the flight today, loading up with a loading up with a more aft CG, so I have more stuff in the back of the plane to make it easier to control when landing. But if it helped, it didn't help a lot. So I just need to practice a little bit more. So that's why I'm here. So the routine of flying the circuit around Oshkosh is not that difficult, and I'm carving up these poor folks. But getting the plane to stop, or at least land, more or less on the dot, that's not so easy. That ground texture looks different because this is the thing in between the runway and the taxiway here. So this is actually... I'm not sure, is this actually photo scenery? That part? Also, I have airport enhancement package or something from SimCoder installed. So that overrides some of the... actually, almost all of the X-Plane textures. So it will override some of the, or actually all of the buildings as well, all the stock X-Plane things. It will be replaced 1-to-1 in terms of size, but it will just be higher quality. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Runway 05.
So that might be it.
Entered runway 05.
The Shift 1 camera in X-Plane 12
Traffic, big
is
photo,
fantastic.
climbing past C5 base 1800 or 18 right, Oshkosh.
Right. So he'll be nearby when I get there. Again, Shift 1. This is just a fantastic camera. I'm not doing anything. This is just doing it by itself. The only problem with it is that it's now going to just
1331.
stop talking to me. It won't come back to the plane now, so I have to
Entered runway
reset it.
31.
Yes. Just watching this camera roll, and it's just a joy. So with tail draggers, you usually have to do a lot of S-turning, but this plane is sitting sufficiently high up that I know I can see through the engine because it doesn't have a cowling, so I can see what's going on. The biggest problem here is that I have open engine right next to me here, so get my window splattered with carved up.
Traffic being followed on left downwind to 1 right, so we'll be turning base at the tower, Oshkosh.
Okay, so he's gonna do that. So I'll do the right thing. Yeah, that's the air-cooled engine. I'll do the right thing and wait for him to come in on the base here, because he will be coming over right in front here, aiming for the tower and landing somewhere downstream on the right side. So I'll try to take off once he's doing that, just for the air show factor. Okay, trim. Set that back down. Somewhere reasonable. There he is. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford, taking off runway 18 left, straight out, Oshkosh. This is airplane porn, isn't it? Don't stall it now. See if I can do this. Not the happiest to do that. One good thing about this, as you can see, the plane is sitting very wide with the main gear, which will help it from ground looping very easily. It can ground loop, and I did it yesterday, but it's not like the Beaver, to put it that way. I'm going to try to be good now and not climb through my altitude this time. I say as I'm probably climbing through the altitude. Yep, spot on. 1300, but I'm still climbing, so stop with that. Come on. That's the also scary thing about this plane is that it's like you're diving when you're level. So looking at this direction, it looks reasonable. It looks like I'm climbing. But from this angle, from the front, because this part of the window is kind of slanting down a little bit, so it looks like I'm going down. Alright, so now the plan now, I think actually what I will do now, how about switching to 3.6? Do a couple of laps on 3.6 and then switch to 7. I think that will be a good idea. So let's see here. One of the things I can do, now is to aim for Warbird Island. That's the little cute thing out there. Aim for that and turn around. And land 36 right, and then just taxi out to take off. No, land 18 right. Taxi to the end, turn around, take off the north instead. So switch around a little bit. So now we're outside the delta here. There's also, by the way, for those who are interested, there is a little grass strip right next to the seaplane base here. So if someone is flying something that they cannot land in water with, you can land. Let's see if I can get a view of it when I get closer. I think it was 2 years ago. Somebody put up a seaplane event. I don't fly seaplanes in the simulator, so I didn't attend by water, but I did fly over and land on that little strip. Yeah, there you have it. Next to these houses and silos. That little grass strip there.
Class Delta in 0, 4 miles.
Well, the beaver won't work in the water yet. The Thranda beaver. It hasn't been updated. The water physics for the Thranda beaver doesn't work, so it's still awaiting that update. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford inbound from the seaplane base will be following the coast for 18 right, Oshkosh. 28 is fine, but that's been updated for XMO 12, and I've actually used that in seaplane versions. I actually joined the Bush League.
Oshkosh traffic, big 40 parts in 360 left, will be below 1300 for the shoreline, Oshkosh.
Okay, so he's going out that way. Interesting. That's going to be very interesting, actually, because what's happening now is he's departing over there. You can see him there. So he's going to come out there and approximately around the tower, the blue dot, he's going to turn right. More or less, not directly towards me, but, you know, this general direction. Restricted at 1300 feet. That's a really cool place to turn. Oh, I love flight simulators. So now my job is to actually to slow down, because I cannot descend yet, because I don't want to mess around with him. Yeah, what I was saying is that I joined the Bush League for an event in Alaska, just north of Anchorage, Talkeetna. He's aiming for me here. Glorious. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford, turning left, base 18 right. We'll be going for the purple dot. Correction, the pink dot. Oshkosh. Now, Talkeetna, yes, we had an event there, or where I flew the Thranda Cessna Caravan. That works indeed in the water. So the lever has yet to be updated for that purpose. So once it is, I will probably do fly it a little bit with floats just to celebrate. Okay, let's focus on not dying here. So I'm doing now what normal pilots should do. They should be aiming roughly towards the tower, the blue dot. Not landing on the blue dot. They should be aiming for the blue, landing on the pink, or beyond. Maybe even the yellow dot. Oshkosh traffic. Little forward, turning short final, 18 right for the pink dot. Oshkosh. Lots of rudder needed for this thing. It's got the worst adverse yaw I've ever had in any plane. It's absolutely horrendous. Come on. Oh, come on! No! Just pulled the power slightly too early there, so I lost the nose. Anyway, it was not that bad. Yeah, this plane, adverse yaw. So, a turn to the right, the nose goes to the left. It even does that on the ground. See if I can get off here. Oh, almost ground looped here. Oshkosh traffic, big Ford, clear of 18 right, to the right, Oshkosh. And lots of power to remain rolling here on the grass.
Big Ford seaplane, base inbound 1800, be landing 36 right, Oshkosh.
Okay, so he's going for the skinny. Okay, so I'll line up and I'll wait a minute for him to come inbound, and I'll review the 3-6 procedure while I'm waiting. This is a little bit of a tight turn here. A lot of stuff going on around here. And a conveniently placed fire department.
Approaching runway 36.
Right. So, here's the deal. You saw the 1-8 route. You go directly out of the delta over to the seaplane base and then back on the left downwind. The 3-6 is basically the same, is that but you depart northbound, turn right as you saw him do, follow the coastline and do this kind of course reversal around the seaplane base, and then you turn westbound, staying south of Fisk Avenue, and then turning in, and then the ATC will tell you whether or not you're going to the left or right runway.
Big Ford final.
So he's on final now. In sight. So he's going on the right side, so I'll do the left side.
Approaching runway 36. Entered runway 36. 6,600 feet remaining.
Oshkosh traffic. Little Ford departing 3-6 left. Oshkosh. See if I can do some... come on now. This is shoddy. This is me trying to be cameraman and pilot at the same time. Not good at either. Just doing it to scare Matt's passengers. That's all I'm doing. So, anyway, the normal procedure is to turn no later than the control tower. That's what they say. So, I'll do just that then. There he is. You don't see anything. Good. That means I'm doing well. Right, out to the coastline, and keep my altitude here. It's not so critical, at least as far as I can understand. Well, actually, it is. So here's the deal. What I was just about to say now is that I don't see that it's that critical to stay below 1300 now, because all the approaches from Fisk will be coming from the west side of the airport, so they won't be out here. However, all the Warbird approaches are coming over the Warbird Island and joining a right base for the 36s. So that's actually one of the conflicts that you can very easily get on when you're doing the north operations with the Trimotor, is that you can be departing this way, and as opposed to everybody else who's flying out of the delta at 1300 feet and then they go wherever they want, I have to turn back out to the shore up into the Warbird arrival, basically. So I'm kind of what we're doing with these Trimotors is basically flying the Warbird approach from the airport instead of coming over Fond du Lac like everybody else is doing. So so it's kind of critical for me to stay at 1300 here, because above me here will be TBMs, small jet planes, and largish, Warbirds, basically. So I'd say probably keeping altitude is a good idea, and also probably keeping an eye out, or an air out, actually, because what you should do now after having departed is that you should switch to the approach tower frequency, where the people coming from Fond du Lac on the Warbird arrival will be talking to the ATC. So I could hear if there's a TBM. Okay, it's going to 27. Great. So I would be hearing all the traffic coming from Fond du Lac over to Warbird Island and into the airport, and being able to figure out where they are. And once I'm outside of the delta, I'm not, and I'm responsible for my own sequencing here. ATC won't do anything about that, so I'll just have to keep my eye out and my ears out. Okay. Can't hear anyone and I can't see anyone, so I'm gonna turn around. So what Matt did now is what I'm gonna do. He landed on the right runway, the 36 right. That's the skinny one. That's the what is usually a taxiway during normal operations at Oshkosh, but during AirVenture and SimVenture they switched it over to a runway. And it doesn't have dots. It has squares, as you can see here. A green and a red square. And what you do with that one is that when you land there, you don't taxi off. You continue down. That's his alpha, taxiway alpha, and that's what it's called normally. All the way down to the end, and then you meet with those crossing runways, and then you taxi back if you want to do that. But I'm going to just continue ahead on to runway 27 at the orange dot. That's where I'm going to depart with the Trimotor now. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford inbound from the seaplane base will join right base 36 right, Oshkosh. Okay, let's see if I can find which of these are Fisk Avenue. I think the one ahead of me here is Fisk Avenue, and this one is the one to the south of it. It's better for me to be close to the one to the south, because then I have some spacing, because from the other direction coming towards me is all the Fisk approach planes. I'm climbing like crazy here. So it's a good place to it's a good place to crash, basically. So I'll try to avoid that. Staying a mile or so to the south of that, the Fisk Avenue here is a safe place until ATC tells you can turn in, or you can see that there is nobody coming in from the west. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford, Trimotor, right base, 36 right, Oshkosh. So what he is doing now, he departed the 27 runway, over past the water tower, over the bridge, and to the north of the town. It's going to come back to the south along the shoreline. This is Miller's Bay, and back into runway 27. That's where Matt is going now. And that's where I'm going once I've safely, let's hope, landed this thing. So probably now the ATC would have said something like Little Fort, clear to land, 36 right, red square, roll out to the end. Or at or beyond the red square, because it's a very long runway. Oshkosh traffic, Little Fort to Trimotor, final 36 right, will be going for the red square, Oshkosh. This is Fisk Avenue coming here, so Fisk is up somewhere there, a couple of miles. And there might be traffic coming in here to land, for example, on the big one, the left runway. So parallel landings are very common here. And very, very cool to watch. And lots of planes.
Oshkosh traffic, big Ford, this Miller's Bay 1800 to 67 Oshkosh.
So that means he's up there. Let's see if we can see him. Yeah, there he is. Oshkosh traffic, Little Ford, Trimotor, short final, 36 right, red square, Oshkosh. Let's see, where's the green one? I think it's just above the engine now. Yeah, there it is. Let's see if I can contrive to make somewhat of a controlled landing here. Not run out of elevator here. So keep a little bit of power. Red square coming up. A little bit more power. And I'm running out of elevator here. No! Hey, that was out. But it was fine. But too early. Melted, slippery, buttery butter. 61 feet per minute. So it's not about the softness of the landing. The point is that if I flared, let's say, or rounded out 10 feet higher, I would have had a horrible landing because I went out of run out of elevator. So it's about control, not about the softness of the landing, because these planes land very soft. So that means he should be out here somewhere. Or is it closer?
Bit closer.
Oh, he's over the threshold already here. What am I looking out for? There's somebody coming in. There he is! Ah, glorious. Oh, this is so cool. Oh. It's so cool, even, that I just went into the grass.
So okay onto the grass, not the runway, right?
Yeah, just go to the left.
Yeah.
Somebody else is coming in here. See, so Beechcraft of some sort. That's one of the benefits of flying the 27, is that it's a very short turnaround. I'll brief that when I get to the runway here.
Approaching runway
Right, guys, not even on the right
1331.
frequency.
Entered runway
Yeah, I didn't.
13.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything on frequency at all. I just saw somebody coming and land.
Yeah, he's on approach frequency. I'll tell him to switch.
Roger.
Approaching runway 0523. Entered runway 0523.
Okay, so what's going on right now is that I'm gonna do what I said earlier, to do the 27 circuit. So depart the runway, right turn over Highway 41, up over the bridge and the intersection there, outside of the delta, turning back by the coast to Miller's Bay and land like just Matt did here. And the cool thing about that is that, as I said, you land by the threshold, not on the DOS like everybody else. And you can stop somewhere between the orange and green, and then park right here on the grass by the VR. And that gets you a very quick turnaround. You can just go straight back onto taxiway Alpha and depart again. Oh, he is...
Fox November 627 Whiskey Bravo on 118.5.
welcome. There's a Kid Fox here.
Thank you. SimVenture actually isn't starting until tomorrow, right?
No, but we're just practicing.
Excellent. I'm doing the same thing.
It's a perfect time for it, because now you're going to be seeing two Ford Trimotors flying around.
Thank you much.
Oshkosh traffic, big Ford, correction, little Ford. Taking off runway 27, right, crosswind to the north, Oshkosh. Just verify that there are no other Nordo planes coming in here. Oshkosh traffic, little Ford and big Ford taking off runway 27, right, crosswind to the north, Oshkosh. Okay, line up on the right side. Rolling. Yeah, could be better, could be worse. Like my previous attempt at camera work. Yeah. I've seen worse.
Traffic.
Indeed. I thought I saw that Kid Fox now, down here somewhere. Okay, so here we are also limited to 1300 feet, because somewhere around here comes the railroad tracks that people are following from Fisk. Oshkosh traffic, Ford Trimotor flight, turning right, crosswind runway 27, 1300 feet, Oshkosh. Yeah, the railroad stops right underneath us here, right here. And so people are coming in there, 1300 feet for the landing, 27 here. So if I go too high, I will be in that traffic. And if they descend too early, they will be crowding on the departures for 27. Oshkosh. Come on. There you go. That adverse yaw is visible even if I'm just touching the yoke here. Now, isn't this a glorious sight? Isn't this fantastic? $50 simulator, a couple of add-ons. This is what you get. Of course, this is silly to be flying outside here. Oh, well, that makes it worth it. So this is Highway 41. The road coming from down there is US 45, so that's the intersection. That kind of marks the more or less the exit of the delta. So at this point, I'm going to start climbing and doing a slow right turn to towards the coast here. Got good wingman action here. Let's see how this pans out. There's actually, yeah, you can see right there. Underneath us here, that's actually a little grass strip. Might actually just throw the beaver in there at some point. Oh. It's almost romantic. It's almost like we planned this.
Drive space without these screenshots.
Yeah, I'm gonna run out of sanity. There's my GoPro camera setting, which is not that good, but it's fine. Alright, let's stop climbing here. So this is not Miller's Bay. Miller's Bay is the one with all the what do we call it? Molo? No. Docks? No. I don't know. That one is Miller's Bay. So that procedure is something I just invented last year. I know that the trimotor is flying out here, but I don't know what they're calling it on the frequency, because I haven't heard it. I haven't heard what they say. So I just found out what the bay is called, and I just report that enough, and the ATC figures out, okay, so when he says Miller's Bay, that means he's on a 3-mile right base. So that seems to be working. And the interesting thing about this is that the Fisk approaches will come on the right downwind here, so they will be crowding in this way, and we are coming kind of outside them, so we're kind of merging with the the traffic from Fisk coming up the railroad tracks. And it can be a tight squeeze sometimes, but the ATC seems to love it. They've done some really cool squeeze plays last year with this approach. Oshkosh traffic, tri-motor flight of 2 over Miller's Bay, 3 mile right base, 27 full stop, Oshkosh.
Oh.
Wake turbulence.
Yeah, I went a bit too close to when it actually simulates it.
Let's see here what we're talking about here. Wake turbulence. That's how that looks. So if he's inside the red or the yellow, he's gonna be in for a ride.
Oshkosh traffic, hitbox November 67, Whiskey Bravo, taking off 18 left.
18 left, okay, good. That's him departing that way. No worries for us. Oh, he's up there. I'm gonna be evil here now. Ah, I didn't manage it. I tried to force him into my wake here. He can do it on his own. Oshkosh traffic, big Ford and little Ford, right base, 1 mile right base, 27 full stop, Oshkosh. So that Kid Fox, he's around here somewhere, going that way. So he's very much not a factor. Lots of nose up trim here to counteract that sinking thing. And the normal pilots will be aiming for the orange dot, landing on the green dot. Sometimes they get told to aim for the threshold and land on the orange if it's very crowded. We aim to land on the threshold to be out of the way, so we could basically land at the same time as people landing on the green dot. That's mostly for us, for our own sake, so we can turn back around near the VOR station there. But it's also very useful for the sequencing. So it's getting low here, like you saw Matt did previously, is very useful. See if I can avoid losing control here now. I was out of elevator just as I touched down here. Okay, roll out to where it's narrow here and try to find a place between the cones. See, is he also clear now? Probably is. I can't see him.
Clear.
Oshkosh traffic. Big and small Ford clear of 27 to the left. Oshkosh. And hello, Sigma Phil, and thanks for the follow. Good evening, indeed. Matt, what do you say? We do another 2-7 lap, and I'll be your wingman.
Let's do 1-8, because I need to practice that landing.
Roger, I'll follow you. So, Sigma, Phil, do you know what you're watching?
Approaching runway 13.
What the hell? He's going really
Runway
fast here.
13, 31.
Yeah, it's actually not
Approaching
working.
runway
Bad idea.
13, 31.
So, I'm gonna just pretend that I didn't see those.
23. Approaching runway 05, 23.
X-Plan 11. Well, X-Plan 11 is not horrible either. You can have all this fun in X-Plan 11 too. Except, of course, X-Plan 12 looks a little bit better. Ready.
Oshkosh traffic. Medium forward flight is departing 18 left to the seaplane base, Oshkosh. Alright.
See if I can try to avoid getting into his wake turbulence here. So I'm going to stay above as much as I can.
Traffic.
I wish I can't, because he's now climbing like crazy.
That's right.
Right, so 1300. Look at him dive now, when he realizes that he's too high up. Yeah. I'm too high up as well, so...
Oshkosh traffic, medium forward flight, Fisk Avenue, turning eastbound to the seaplane base, Oshkosh.
This plane is really weird. It doesn't take much power to get it to climb. It doesn't climb fast, but it's just relentless. Just have to pull back power a lot. Anyway, Sigmaphil, if you have X-Plane 11, you will have access to all of this glorious scenery, and for free actually, if you're on PilotEdge. I'm not sure if you're a PilotEdge pilot, but if you're not, you can join for free for a couple of hours of trial time and come fly at Oshkosh with us. If you're comfortable with the procedures, that is. And I'm not sponsored or anything like that, I'm just a big fan. So getting back to the seaplane base. I see traffic! Look at that. That's a Cessna. Probably not a Cessna, but there's somebody flying a seaplane. That's cool. I'm curious. I want to cheat. Yes, that's someone flying an Icon. That's those weird amphibious planes. So, it's too bad I don't have a CSL for that. I see an airplane up there. Is that... it's not on ADS-B. Anyways, we're getting close to be outside of the delta, so we can merge now with the Warbird arrival stream.
Oshkosh traffic, medium forward flight, seaplane base, turning northbound to follow the coast line.
Traffic.
18, Oshkosh.
Let's see what that icon is doing. Is he still there? Yeah. You were part of the beta. Cool. When PilotEdge was starting, so back in the days, right, like 10 years ago or something like that. That's neat. That's there's been a lot of water on the bridge since that time. Are we now? Are you doing the downwind or the coast approach here, Matt?
Bit of both.
Roger.
Oshkosh traffic, yellow and gray kit box crossing the highway on Fisk Avenue, looking to land 18 right. Will that conflict with the Ford?
18 right would be brilliant.
Roger.
Traffic. 10 o'clock. 1 mile. 100 feet above.
Little Ford has the Kit Fox in sight.
Big plot likewise.
So he's coming down
Kit
here.
box has the Ford in sight.
Very good. So he's coming down Fisk Avenue. He's going to join the left downwind here for the 18 right runway. You better start your descent, Matt.
Don't worry, I'm pro. Oshkosh medium for flight setting base at the tower. Aiming for the picked up Oshkosh.
Okay, there's a tower and the blue dot. And we're going to go for the pink one. This is one of my favorite approaches. The south landing. So easy to do a stupid stall spin here. Yeah, the tri-motor is fantastic. Such a gorgeous plane. Come on now. No. You saw it drop right at the end there? That was me running out of elevator. Again. This is going to be a common theme, I fear. Clear.
Oshkosh traffic, medium for flight, clear of all runways. Taxi to the Rebel We Park, Oshkosh. Plane.
Warbird Alley, indeed. Let's see what the Kit Fox is. He should be probably on base now. Yeah, there he is. There he is. see if this pans out. Yeah, good timing. Get to see the Kit Fox come in and have a stall spin accident right into 1/8 right. Perfect. No pressure. Now he's so slow. He's basically parking. Oh, come on, am I going to lose him? That jumping around, that's, I think it's an artifact from the communication between Microsoft Flight Sim and the PilotEdge client. Just seems like the Microsoft planes, whatever they send to the network, is a little bit more jumpy than X-Plane. X-Plane is very, very smooth, as you can see. But the Microsoft Flight Sim planes tend to have this, sometimes these jumpy things.
Yellow and gray Kit Fox, clear runway 18 right.
Nice feet up.
Thanks much. Look forward to seeing y'all back here tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's 3:45 in the morning here in Norway. So again, it's probably and 2:45 for Matt in the UK, I think. And it's about time to go to bed. Oh! Here we have a ground loop. Hello, simulated flutter. No? You just joined. Oh, crap. Well, you can, with the great benefit, just go back. Oh, what the hell was that? And watch the VOD. It's it was fun, and we have some glorious double for the. Actually, it will be a sextuple Ford, I guess. And yeah, it was fun. But there's going to be more. It's going to be Ford Tri-Motors the rest of the week. See if we can get these beasts spun around here. The Warbird Isle is pretty tight. But I have split my throttles in 3, so I can do it, I think. A little bit of middle, all left, and then stop. I think this ought to do it. So let's pull the parking brake and let's have a look. Yeah. Welcome to Oshkosh. And Matt's doing his thing about parking so close that we are basically merging like a Ford 6 motor. Yeah, let's shut down the engines. Thanks for joining, Skydiver Rob, and everybody else who joined. AT10 hex motor. Sounds good. And epic streams will be continued. I'll be flying this plane tomorrow, the whole event tomorrow. And I'll be streaming the whole thing, because why not? Matt will not be flying tomorrow, he's busy with something else, but he will be joining the other days in his fleet of million planes that he flew in a Beluga that is parked over here on the ramp someplace. And I'll be on Friday. I'll be the last half of the event, I'll be flying the Beaver. And on the morning on Saturday, I'll be flying a helicopter. Now that's going to be epic if I ever saw something. L39, the warbird arrival. That's perfect. I'll see you right there. Because I'll be all over the place. Drop by this stream and tell me when you're going into the warbird, because if I'm on 27, I'll switch over to whatever north-south runway they are doing. To join you on the warbird. Oh, your birthday, of course. Well, that means that your birthday is today then. If I'm not entirely mistaken. 15th. Okay, so a couple of days. Anyway, so Saturday morning on the start of the event, I'll be flying a helicopter into Oshkosh, which is going to be landing at the Pioneer airstrip, which is over here. This is where the helicopters go. Right here. Heli parking. That's where they're going. And hopefully we can get a group together. This is a very avid little group of helicopter flyers that might create an event. So that's going to be something to watch out for. And after that, I will be flying the rest of Saturday in the Trimotor and the whole of Sunday in the Trimotor. And where am I? There I am. So this is the big Ford Trimotor, and this is Little Ford.
Oshkosh traffic, icon 732 Tango Golf. Be making a straight-in approach to runway 27 Oshkosh.
Okay, so he's out over the water here somewhere. He didn't say how far out he was. He may be in the water. Or in the clouds.
Traffic 732 Tango Golf is about 3 mile final to 7 Oshkosh.
Oh, 3 mile final. Let's see if I can see him. Curious. That means he is... It's not that it's not drawn, it's just that I'm looking at the wrong place, I think. Never mind. I'll keep the... Hello, Rust. Welcome. And yeah, if you want to have a look at what transpired on the stream here, you are welcome to have a look. It was interesting. And I'm just trying to... I want to have a look at this plane before I switch off here. I want to have a look at what's going on here. Is there a murder scene down here? Something going on here. He's probably gonna get shot. That's what's gonna happen there. So, here we have that plane coming in. And this is supposed to be an Icon, one of those float plane thingies. But in my sim, it's a Skyhawk. Look at those beautiful 3D trees. I wonder where they came from. Such a cool scenery. So much stuff. I'm going too fast here. There he is. He's aiming for the threshold. Yeah, well, not everything is matched that well. This is supposed to be a completely different plane, but there are some very, very good models that, you know, you could see everything going on. You know, like you could see the propeller RPM, you could see the control surfaces, lights, whether the nose is turning or not. Yeah, you can see he's turning around here now.
Oshkosh traffic, 2 Tango Golf, clear of the active Oshkosh, or clear of 27 Oshkosh.
Yeah, the Beaver is nice. That's especially if you have the one from the org, because that's one has been created specifically for the task of, you know, replicating all the data refs from the plane. Anyways, I see we have lost one of the trimotors. That's sad, but that's how it is. Anyways, I'm gonna shut down now, go get some sleep, and I'm gonna see if I can make the production value a little bit higher. I've discovered a monstrous part of X camera that I didn't know existed. So I'm going to try to set up some cool action cameras for tomorrow. But it was good to test it out today to see if everything works, and things seems to be working fine. And Delta, welcome and goodbye. I'm actually just wrapping up here. So, but anyways, I'll be back tomorrow. The whole of SimVenture tomorrow I will be streaming. So please come join. I think it's 1010 Zulu. No, it's not. That's completely wrong. Anyway, I have no idea. You'll find out when it is. And all right. Good night and good luck.